But anyway, so we cut all the tracks one day. We couldn't have the air conditioner on, so we were just boiling hot, just sweating, and just everyone. It was just we were on fire. Musically, yeah. And so, I did a couple little things later. One of the songs that I had to re-sing, because I was literally telling the guys, "Great, now's the solo," giving, and that didn't, work well on the recording, so I had to re-sing it. But basically, and the whole idea was just to do the spontaneous, because you read about even the Beatles or Hank Williams or Buck Owens, they record like an album in one day, so that's how it used to be done. And that was one of the main things I wanted to do, recording this album, to go back to that old-time sound,
But also back then they had producers that were used to creating these in one day, so they had that experience of working on the fly. So did that present any kind of problem for you? Was your producer used to cranking things out in that short a succession?
Well, no, not really, but he was on the ball. He was just running around the room. I just remember him, just like sweating and working real hard, making sure everything was mic'd good and stuff like that. And so I don't think none of us had ever done really anything like that, really. It was just after it was all done, we just like hugged each other, because we're like, can you believe that just happened? So it was just, it was something, you just try something. And I was like, well, if it doesn't work, we can always come back, but let's really try to get this done, And so just on a wing and a prayer and, the hottest day of the year, we laid down all the whole album. So
awesome.
We spent a little time later, just mixing and stuff like that, but the basic tracks, vocals, solos, all done one day.
Nice. Well, that's good news to hear that can happen like that, and you really came out with something really special, I think. But,
Thank you.
That's a nice little segue because, as you're over there working to build your career, I work just as hard here at Undrer Country Music to tear down careers of up-and-coming country artists. And would you like to know how I do that?
I'm here. I'm here for you.
I do that with a little segment of the show I like to call the Undrer Country Music News. All right, Eric, I think you've heard this show before, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's a good thing that you're not going for country superstardom right now. At least from some of the things I read, I might be wrong, and we'll touch on that a little bit later, because here on the Undrer Country Music News, what it is that I do is that every single week here I go onto the search engine Google, I type in the words country music news, and whatever websites come up on the very front page of Google, you'd think those would be the quintessential representation of the cream from the top of the milk jug there of what country music has to offer, as far as the news anyway, for that particular week. Wouldn't you think that?
You would think. You would.
Now have you ever gone and searched for country music news before?
No, I haven't.
Well, I do it every week, and I got to tell you, I go just about every website that comes up on the front page of Google. It's like People Magazine garbage, it's Taylor Swift's boyfriend and who got her virginity and what does this guy really think about the tightness of Keith Urban's t-shirts and crap like that.
Yeah.
And that's what it's filled with. So my job, I have decided to step forward and boldly go where nobody in the industry of country music dares to go, and that is into the depths of country music news. I put on my diving bell. I put one of those little things that pinch your nose together so water doesn't go up it. And I jump into the waters of country music news. And I dive down, and I find the hidden treasures of country music news. But damn it, I can't get the chest open because I forgot my pry bar. So I go back to the top. I get a couple breaths of air. I grab my pry bar out of the toolbox. Okay, got it. Put my diving helmet back on. I go down to the bottom again. I find the chest of country music news again, and I break open the lock. And I dig through all the captain's logs and all that junk until I find the lost pearls, the golden nuggets, the doubloons, if you will, aye matey, of country music news. And I bring them back to the surface for the listeners of Undrer Country Music. And that's what I do.
What'd you dig up this week?
Well, this week. Oh, there's one thing. The damaging career thing, I don't want to gloss over that real quick. If I go onto a website and I dive and I just can't find bupkis, I give that website one unlucky. The worst representative of country music news every week gets the coveted Undrer Country Music News wet belch of the week. And today I had a cheeseburger with a fried egg. So,
you're ready.
So I'm ready. I'm ready if you are.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's destroy all your prospects for future label deals and management here. All right. Over at CMT. And by the way, I want you to pipe in on here. I want to hear what your thoughts on the latest in country music news are as well, okay?
All right,
because that's why I call you co-host, not special guest, not interviewee. You're co-hosting here, so you just jump in there and speak your mind. All right. Over at CMT.com, Garth Brooks, he prevails in a lawsuit, and the headline says it was filed by a former business associate. Now, that gets a little murky when I get into the story, and we'll come back to that. But anyway, a federal jury in Nashville has sided with Garth Brooks that $250,000 he sent to the business manager of his former entertainment unit. The lady's name was Lisa Sanderson, and the business unit was called Red Strokes. And apparently Garth sent her almost $250,000 to cover the expenses of her divorce and child custody legal stuff. And the court sided with Garth Brooks that it was indeed a loan and not a gift. Okay. So the jury made its decision in less than 1 hour at the end of a 3-day trial in U.S. District Court. Kind of sounds like an Eric McMahon recording session there. And Garth's email records apparently clearly showed acknowledgement that it was indeed a loan. The article is titled as though Garth was the one being sued, because it says Garth Brooks prevails in lawsuit filed by former business associate. But everything I read makes it sound as though Garth was the one doing the suing to get his money back.
Yeah.
It's typical hack writing by, the people who crank this stuff out, but, what are you going to do?
Sensationalization. They want us to sell copy.
Exactly.
Get people to click.
And I clicked.
But that's your job.
It is. I don't get paid for this yet. Because if I grow my audience a little more, I might be able to start generating a couple nickels here and there. But
it's your mission.
It's my mission, yes.
Your deep sea diving mission to get the pearls.
That's right. That's correct. Yeah, you got it. All right. Over at countryweekly.com, David Nail's tour bus slides off an icy road and hits the median on its way to have David Nail open up for Darius Rucker on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, what happened with the tour bus? What happened then?
Well, because it was Valentine's Day and David did not break his heart, but he did break his bus. But the knight in shining armor came galloping to his rescue in the form of Darius Rucker's tour bus.
Nice.
The Darius Rucker sent his tour bus from the venue over to the crash site, picked up David Nail and the crew, got him to the gig, and the show went on.
God bless him. You know, if it was me, I would have sent my helicopter, though.
All right.
All right?
You know what time it is?
Oh, what time is it?
It's Country Standard Time over at countrystandardtime.com. That belch sounded a little forced, didn't it? It didn't sound so wet.
Was that cheeseburger?
Yeah, that was the Undercountry Music News. Well, wet belch of the week. This week it was kind of a dry belch though, so I guess they didn't even get the moisture this week. You know, I mean, when you don't even qualify for a full-on wet belch, I mean, come on, guys, put some effort into your suckness. Over at countrystandardtime.com this week, the most interesting thing I could find was an article about the debut of an act called the Cadillac 3. Oh, look, I got more of it. Oh, there. Anyway, okay, let me read this to you. I'll show you just how bad the writing is, okay? The Cadillac 3 are out with its debut. Wouldn't the Cadillac 3 would be out with their debut?
You would think.
Anyway, the Cadillac 3 are out with its debut. I guess Cadillac 3 is a singular group, so it's the name. So I guess that's correct. I won't tag them on that. Cadillac 3 are out with its debut single, The South, Florida Georgia Line, Dierks Bentley, and Mike Eli of Eli Young Band. I read that verbatim. It doesn't say...
I'm confused.
Yeah, it doesn't say comprised of members of these groups.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read that sentence again. The Cadillac 3 are out with its debut single, The South, Florida Georgia Line, Dierks Bentley, and Mike Eli of Eli Young Band. And I'm going to continue here, okay? The band consists of Nashville natives Jaron Johnston, Fouettard, and lead vocals. That's right, Fouettard.
They don't even know what spell check is, or
I
don't know how to use Word.
Kelby Ray, bass, steel guitar, dobro, acoustic vocals, and Neil Mason, drums, percussion, and vocals. I think these guys are all, members of the backing bands of Florida Georgia Line, Dierks Bentley, and Mike Eli of the Eli Young Band. So that's what I'm guessing here. But anyway, that was the most interesting thing over there, and even that was all freaking jacked up. So for that reason, they did get the Undercountry Music News Wet Belch of the Week. Congratulations, Country Standard Time. Did you like the belch? Was it a good belch?
It was perfect.
Oh, perfect belch. Okay, if you're like an Olympic belching judge, what number would you hold up for that belch?
I would give that a gold. You get the gold medal.
The gold belching? Hey, I'm a gold medal belcher.
Going with the Olympic fever.
All right. Anyway, this has been your Undercountry Music News. Anyway, enough gum flapping here. Here is Tennessee. That's the name of the act from Nashville with their song, Estrapade. Here on Undercountry Music with Neil Smith and
Derek McMahon.
Booyah!